you see, he's the responsible for the technical aspects of the frontiers and loop here and also the responsible for having frontiers located in this building. 2 years ago?
Yes, two and a half.
Since like that. Well,
2.5.
well then when Frontiers decided to come here and to create the development group with us in this in the CAIT, Frontiers, probably you know, but this is a company spin-off from the École Polytechnique de Lausanne. And then initially the headquarters were located in Lausanne. They were closing to us in one project related to brain research, and this is the main initial contact we had. And then 2 years ago they decided to come here. And part of the discussions we had at the time was to find also other mechanisms to cooperate with them, and not only to be as a part of the facilities and the use of the facilities here, but also with the possibility to have some joint activities. And then we started, we initiated a negotiation, very long process to find something that could be also useful for both parties, from one side to the university and also for them. And then as a part of it, we decided to launch this actúaloop competition. Loop, as probably you could mention now, it's a new adventure in the process of Frontiers, and then it's also related with part of the technological improvements in service provision that is also one of the priorities of the Technical University. Then this actúaloop competition had the initial phase with the presentation of the analysis and selection of some of the proposals received. We will have some, I don't know if I have some slides then to mention the number of proposals received, etc. But first of all, I would like to give the floor to John Murua to present a little bit the initial guidelines and ideas and priorities for Frontiers, and then we will enter into the winners part of the event today. Then thank you very much for coming, and you have the floor.
Thank you, Gonzalo, and thank you everyone for coming here today. Today, personally, I think this is a party. The number of candidates and the number of applications we received is absolutely impressive, and the ideas that are here, it's amazing. I'm overly impressed, seriously impressed. So again, thank you all of you for your contribution. My name is John Murua, and I am now responsible for Loop. You probably have heard of Loop and Frontiers as you submitted your ideas into this competition. But I want to take the opportunity that I am here today to explain just a little bit what we are doing with Frontiers, what is the initiative that we have behind Loop, and what we want to do with Developers Portal, and how we collaborate with the partners, and how we engage and we help ideas to promote them into real businesses. As Gonzalo mentioned, we are based in Lausanne, in Switzerland. We are based in the campus of EPFL, and we wanted something similar experience in Madrid, and that's why we chose to open an office here in Madrid in the European campus, and thanks to the relationship and how Gonzalo welcomed us, and we see that the relationship has been growing, and that's how we ended up creating this competition. We're based in Switzerland, an office in Madrid, but we also have development centers in India, we have offices in London, several in the States. But most importantly, we have customers and users that are accessing our website all over the world. And there is few exceptions that I can think of in Africa, but overall we have a lot of traffic from all over the world. The main portal for all the content that we have, it's in our website, in Frontiers in ORG. Here we are displaying, we are making all the content that we have available publicly, so that anybody can go out there and they can see all the publications and all the articles that anybody has published with us. It's available for free. And that goes along with our philosophy that all the research that people do or researchers do, that should be available for anyone. We started in 2007. We were small and a startup company, but you have seen, and you can see here how we've grown over the years. The growth is unstoppable. It's actually this slide, I need to update it. It says 36 fields and covered. I think that has changed recently. And so far we have 40,000 publications and more than 50 million views of articles. And this is an industry that is growing. We see a growth of about 20% every year. And we see that in around 2 to 3 years' time, the open access will pass the standard publishing industry. So it's a good industry to be on. You are in the right path and on the success following us here. We see that there is a change happening, and as I mentioned, and this change on open access and traditional publishing. And all the open access publishers, and especially us, we are investing a significant amount of effort in making this change happen. We see that the publishing and the research in general, it's complicated for the researchers, and we want to give them the tools and the ability to make this change. We want them to engage, we want to give them tools to socialize, to network, and to make all this process a little bit easier. Let me explain you that. So academics in general, what they want to do is they want to do research, but before they do any research, they need to find grant. When they find the grant, they can start the research. When we start the research, they need to go to conferences, do networking, they need to find collaborators with which they can publish. Once they publish, they get citations, and thanks to the citations, they go back to apply for granting, which makes it easier. And this loop is rather cumbersome for the researchers, and we want to change that. Our philosophy is to make researchers' life easier in the sense that for them to do research is their main focus. This is a rather funny slide I like. In the past, research was a result of individual work, which were often not shared. And we didn't have internet or things like that, so a lot of research was lost. But today, it has changed. It's more a collaboration, socializing. And making all this content, all this information that is produced as part of this collaboration, this publishing, is very important so that the trend of research goes forward in a way that internet is also going. And that's why we started Loop. We started Loop that was about a year, a bit more of a year ago, to help make this change, to make the content, the articles, all the information of researchers publicly available, to make it easier to find, and the authors, the researchers that make that contribution to the society, for them to be exposed and make their work and themselves more prominent. And also help this collaboration, and that's why we created Loop, which is a researchers network. It's like Facebook or Twitter or any other, but focused on research so that we can help these researchers meet together. Just to be clear about what Loop is and what Frontiers is, Frontiers is a publishing platform, and this is the mother of everything we do. And Loop, it's helping Frontiers with the community platform. It's offering networking services, profiles, and so on. But at the bottom, we see that everything is an IT platform that we are using for sharing all of this. And that's why we created the developers platform, so that anybody that wants to integrate with us, wants to collaborate, wants to access the information we have, that they can use this IT platform. These faces here, these faces are here in the audience with us. These are the experts that made Loop happen. And I have to say that I'm fascinated with the work that they have done here. These experts, they are based here, they are managing teams, and I encourage you to talk to them, chat with them after we do the award ceremony, so that you can get a relationship with them and you can learn from each other. No need to go into what the Loop profile is, because I understand you have already investigated before submitting your ideas. But just to put it in perspective of what we were saying, we have 250,000 users, and this is the trend we are seeing with the number of users. Again, I want to emphasize, we're in a going up trend. Is the best opportunity now to create business around this open access and with us in collaboration to create successful startups. What differentiates us is that most of our users come from the top universities like Harvard or Stanford. We integrate with UPM, with Observatorio, that was last year. And Nature also integrated us in a similar way, but not only Nature, but a number of other partners and big numbers in the publishing and research industry are integrating us. And you, with the contribution that you have shown with your ideas, you have now the opportunity to become one of those. And I hope that in a few months' time, I can change this slide and I can put the logos of your companies here. And we will help you do that. We'll help you do that. We started with the developers portal. I understand that you have already seen what we have there to offer. We have a number of plugins ready to use. So you can put them in your websites or in your applications ready to use. Or you can use our range of APIs to build your applications. And I've seen a number of initiatives here that they would make use of this API. What we wanted to do with actúaloop was exactly that. Get your ideas, to utilize the APIs and all the product range that we have and see how we can contribute to the mission that we have. The mission in Frontiers is to make the content accessible and to help researchers do their work. And the ideas that you have submitted, they are absolutely brilliant, seriously brilliant, because they align perfectly with our mission and what we want to achieve, and that's why today you are here awarded for that. This is the roadmap of this competition. I believe it's public. We are now in the phase 1, which is the submission date was in January, and today is the 11th of February, the evaluation. We will give today an award for the best 3, but all of you that we are here, you are awarded, and we encourage you to go, continue, and develop these ideas into real businesses. And that's the next phase, which is phase 2. In 2 months' time, we will do an evaluation, and we expect you to work with us, to work with the expert I presented earlier, so that we can get here to the moment whereby we can go to the finals with the best 3. The best 3 is going to be difficult. I see that there is a lot of good ideas, as I mentioned earlier, and we need to choose the best 3. But that doesn't mean that it's the end. All the ideas that fall here, remember it's a competition, we will still support them and encourage them to create businesses. Thank you. And now,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you remember those figures, it seems that the growth of the company has been impressive, and also in the number of users. How many people are working now in Frontiers? Do you remember?
Well, the total staff is
Total
about
staff,
200,
200.
of which about 100 are IT and development. So it's mainly a software company, and only the other half is publishing. But yeah, publishing is where we get our money, but we try to do that driven by software, driven by our platform, driven by automation, and APIs play a big role there.
That's a good figure. Starting as a typical spin-off from one university to reach at 200 in just in 80 years or something like that. It's a very good thing, and I think that you have in a very good track for the future. Okay, and it's a pleasure then to work with you. Then now we could enter into this part of the awards. Micro. I will need a micro. This one. No. I don't need a micro, but it's just only for recording the event. Then, ¿tú tenías aquí unas? Están ahí, ¿no? Sí. Ratón. Here. Well, just to remember which are the main figures we had in this process. And we are in the first phase. Remember the last slide from John. In the competition, we received 31 ideas. Correspond to 69 participants, and then we have selected 8 of them. We had the jury to decide and to select them 2 weeks ago, no, last week. Last week, and then we were, in fact, discussing several things that were important for us in the selection process. From one side, the possibility to develop the product and service in cooperation with Frontiers. This is the first point. The second one was also to see that those ideas fit into the scope of the competition. And then we try also to see people and ideas coming from different places. from centers, and this is also important for us. We received ideas from many places here at the university, from the School of Telecommunications, was normal, the School of Computer Engineering, it's also typical here, IMDEA software, maybe. But as you could see here, there were also many other proposals coming from different places, not initially from our point of view related to this issue, but that's interesting because this is becoming a cross-cutting issue that received attention from people working in many different places, like the School of Architecture, for instance, to put an example. That is initially not related to online publishing, but there are also a community related to architecture that could be also interested on that, or the agricultural school, or forestry school, or many others. Then the first point is that the proposals received came from different places. Here's also a very interesting cake with the profile of participants. Then many of them were professors or faculty members in general, also researchers, students and PhD, ex-students, master degree, etc., but mainly professors and researchers. This is also very important because it means that the competition attracted the interest of research groups at the university. And this is also good because there is a good basis for developing the products and not only thinking in isolated students that were not outside the competition, they could participate here. But the number is clearly focused on those main categories of professors and researchers. This just to mention you that we need to improve it for the future, but many of them were on email, but email didn't reach everybody. Then we need to have also web, etc. But the web was not the main sources for knowledge about the competition, and something that we need to improve for the future. These are the composition of the teams. Some of them are individual ideas, and 12 of them. That is clear that in those cases, these individual ideas should require additional team building process with others in order to be able to develop the products. That is part of the mentoring and coaching process that we are providing also on the second phase of the competition. In many other, well, they have 2 members, 3 members, 4 members, or even 6 members in a couple of cases. From different departments. That is the list of the departments at the university with a lot of information then. And just to remember, after this short overview of the type of proposals we have received, then remember that after the selection of the best ideas, in fact, 8 proposals were selected. 3 of them will receive a small awards. In other cases, the reward is just to continue in the process and then to be able to develop the selected ideas with the support of the Frontiers staff. Then to go to the awards of the process, the 3 awards, and then we have also provided a possibility to pre-incubate these possible ideas as a new startups in the cases that you like to create this kind of startups. Here in this building, the part of the pre-incubator space we have launched. In fact, we will start with this incubator space this month. Then this is the situation today, and then I think that we could start with the most important part, that is the water ceremony here. Then I like to have I don't know if this is the order or... Because we will give the awards not only by myself but also with the... Okay? Very well. Then I will start with Ares. That's all. John will, there you are, will stand up here.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Explain a little bit. As you have there. Yeah, this one. Because here we have a sentence, but it's not too much for me.
Well, my name is Gregorio Romero, and my idea is about the sharing equipment that are inside the different laboratories and research centers. Due to, at this moment, it's only possible to look for the content of the different papers, information about the different authors, but not information about the different equipments that has been necessary to do the research that appears into the content of the paper. This is my main idea. Thank you very much.
Okay, and I would like to ask Daniel Munoz to come up, and just so you can now network together and exchange questions. So Daniel will be our contact for you. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
This is just the matching process with the proposals of the idea and the coaching. Huh? You see, on real time. Well, second one is loop up. Let's loop up here.
Hi, thank you very much. Okay, my idea was simply to build an Android mobile application on top of the Loop services to try to make more human the contact between the researchers and other people are starting research on a specific field, because it's very, very difficult sometimes to find the concrete information you're looking for in a so wide ecosystem. And I also find that on big applications that are social related to the research, like ResearchGate, they don't have any mobile or specific application. So this was my little apportation. Thank you very much.
And the expert from us working with you would be Maria over there, just to introduce you.
Okay, then the third one is share for good. Share for good is there. Congratulations.
Share for Good is the direct connection between researchers and charitable foundation. On one hand, we have charitable foundation that have money to research about their illness, and they can create a profiling loop and they can tag it. On the other hand, we have researchers that can add their work to loop and they can add tags too. We create big data system that allows to communicate them. Thank you.
Okay, and the expert from Frontiers working with you would be Christian Esteves.
Very well. Then Research Hub. Research Hub is there. Take the micro.
So, Research Hub is the project that I have proposed to develop. It's a web platform to share content and to publish content to the community, from the community to the community. And we have prepared a plan to do these publications. You can do it through planned publications or automated publication due to a big data analysis of the community, and then you can
reach the people that you can that you want to show your paper, and that's the idea, and that's all.
And the frontiers expert working with you would be Fran Moreno. Okay.
Perfect. And then Frontiers Translate.
Thank you. So our idea is based on translation, as the name says. We have focused this idea on translation because we think that is an important role on the sharing of scholar works. And we, apart from translation, we think that the social capabilities of our app or our idea is important because we have think in a way of sharing these works that provides the people who want to learn a better way to learn. That's all.
And the frontiers expert working with your team would be Jorge Jardines.
Okay, do you remember the face? Yeah. Okay, then finally the three awards of 1,000 euros will be two. The first one is the journal advisor. Not for you. Journal advisor is here? Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Explain a little bit.
Okay, so, well, thank you very much, first of all. Our idea is oriented in providing tools to help in the research process while seeking for information. We know that all researchers have to look for many information, and there are many tools for helping in the process of finding the information, but not for where to publish it. So we want, we aim at creating a tool helping users find which is the best publication venue to send their investigation. And on the other side, we also think we could help editors and reviewers, helping them in the process of analyzing the papers they receive to know if they fit within their aims and scope or not. So that's our idea.
Very well.
And the frontiers expert for that team would be Gabriel Moreno.
Very well. Second one is formalization of experimental protocols.
Thank you.
Take the microphone.
Okay, our idea is about the formalization of experimental protocols. This work is about exploring an alternative for documenting and retrieve information from experimental protocols. Why experimental protocols? Because this type of documents describe step by step how to carry out an experiment. For this reason, we consider that the protocols are central to reproducibility. And we want a recommendation system to store this type of documents. Thank you.
Okay, and the frontiers expert would be Zorana Bankovic.
And then the last one, IDIM.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You? Who is?
Okay. Hello. Yes, our idea is to improve the results of the. When you do a research, you have some results, you just publish the paper, but we think there is much knowledge around it, and we want to improve those results with a content creator that we have already developed for other projects, where you can create mashups of like presentations, you can imagine, like PowerPoint presentations with videos, images, and almost anything on the internet, and also real-time communications with the authors. So you can get in touch with any researcher just to solve any doubt or just to collaborate in future research. So that's all. Thank you.
And the frontiers expert for your team would be Rafael Castro. Stand up, congratulate them. Come on.
Very well. Well, that's all for this formal part, but we have also some networking now. I don't know where exactly. It says. Okay, we like the people training here. Okay. Okay. Then thank you very much for participating in the competition. And then I hope that in this second phase of developing your ideas with the support of the person from Frontier that has been allocated to the different selected ideas could be a good opportunity for all of you in order to develop your ideas. Thank you very much also for coming here. It was also a pleasure to stay with you. And then now we could move all together. First of all, a photograph. Then the winners here with us. Outside, that's better? Outside the photograph, and then networking and the lunch.